Nice. Welcome to another episode of Gucci Turban. That's Asif. I'm Nimesh. Gucci Turban is the only podcast on the planet that is actively being trying to be sued by both Gucci and Turbans. Either or. Last week we're trying to be sponsored by them. This week we're trying to get sued by them. We're a fickle group here at Gucci Turban. What are we going to start with? We'll start with it's hurricane season, and Hurricane Helene has ravaged North Carolina, Florida, parts of Tennessee. Tragedy, what's going on there. Did I ever tell you the story? North Carolina holds a special place in my heart. Right after Columbia, when I got kicked off stage there, I had to do this thing called NACA, which is the National Association of College Campus Activities. It's you do a showcase where you perform a set, and like people who are in the audience are bookers for college shows, and they see you, and they decide whether or not they want you to come to their college. And I had to do a set a month after me getting kicked off stage at Columbia became a national story, right? In national by that I mean like it was trending on Yahoo for a little bit, not like a big deal or anything, but
it was pretty big. I won't say it was big.
I mean, yeah, sure. Tucker Carlson talked about it.
Yeah, you were on Joe Rogan.
I was on Rogan about it, but in hindsight, all dumb decisions to do all that. But I got on stage. I was hosting it. Like I was the first guy to go up, and that's a big deal in terms of like your visibility. And in my head, I'm thinking like, oh fuck, I'm screwed. And that was the vibe for a lot of the people. A school from North Carolina, like this Christian university, booked me and was one of my first gigs back in North Carolina. So shout out to the Christians who wanted to hear some anti-gay, anti-black jokes. But I remember going to that school, like it was like 2 hours outside of Charlotte, I think, outside of Raleigh, and I remember going to that school like, oh, this is going to be crazy, like a Christian school. And sorry, I don't remember the name. It was like 7 years ago now, 6 years ago. But I remember thinking, oh, this is going to be awful. But when I got on that stage, all the kids were like, yeah, fucking talk that shit. I was like, nice, dude, nice. What a welcoming group. Because, you go to rural North Carolina, you think it's going to be bumblefuck. All these kids are going to be hicks or whatever. But no, it wasn't the case at all. So shout out to North Carolina. I'm sorry what you guys are going through. Hopefully Donald Trump comes through and throws some paper towels at you like he did to the Puerto Ricans all those years ago. That's where that cue card is from. My first joke on SNL, one of my first bits on SNL. I mean, not even the whole joke, but that was right after Trump went to Puerto Rico and threw paper towels.
Like this way too, with the follow through.
Yeah, and Che had a joke about like, we pay taxes. Why don't you just go down there and give them some of our tax money? But obviously he said it a lot more eloquently. But we were struggling to find the word, what to call him, at the end of the line. Go down to Puerto Rico with some Atlanta Falcons T-shirts because they had just lost the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And write him a check with our money, you cheap. I gave him in between dress and live. We were going through. Can we say that? It's going to get flagged.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just bleep that out.
Yeah.
But that was, that's that. But yeah, go down North Carolina. Asheville was home to, I never did it, but this great comedy festival that like anyone that went down there said it was an awesome time. And North Carolina's always shown me a lot of love. So sorry what's going on in North Carolina. If you can, please donate. I know I'll be donating. Asif doesn't care.
No, I care. I care. And I'll tell you why I care. Okay. I'll tell you why I care, and you're not gonna expect what's about to come out of my mouth, right?
Okay.
Mustard.
Mustard.
The best mustard brand I've ever had is called Lusty Monk Mustard out of Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh, snap.
It is delicious, small business, all right? Not trying to get your sponsorship dollars, but you need a little zing. You want to help North Carolina, support Lusty Monk Mustards.
Are they on
Look at that. delicious.
Wow, look at that.
No nonsense, full
No
on.
nonsense.
And also, it's a mustard that I feel like Desi people would like because it really, you know,
Where did you discover this?
someone gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
A white guy gave it to me, and he was like, "I think
Wow.
you'd like this,"
And he was right.
and he was right, and I was shocked.
Kind of mustard fairy.
No, I mean, he was high as shit when he gave it to me, but it really. I order these mustards all the time. It's the preferred mustard in my home. I think all South Asian people that like mustard should get it.
I love mustard.
Yeah, all brown people like mustard.
Mustard's delicious.
This is the best one.
Their branding seems cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a small family business.
Also in Asheville, North Carolina, quartz. All of our semiconductors and stuff about to get super expensive, or probably a little more expensive. Maybe
Quartz?
biggest quartz mines are in Asheville, North Carolina. I know this because I just started reading about, so I'm interning at a hedge fund. And shout out.
Interning at a hedge fund.
I am. I spend 3 hours a day and I read like
No,
one initiation report about some random ass company.
I feel like you tell me this, but really you got 3 iPads and one's DraftKings, one's BetMGM, and you're like, yes, I made some fucking trades today, dog. I made some trades.
No, I'm interning, but am I? No, but I am. And I remember one of the first times that when I started internship, the first internship I had was working for the same portfolio manager like 15 years ago. And he's since gone on to make trillions of dollars, and I'm here in this basement doing a podcast for 400 people. But I remember one of my first jobs with him was trying to understand how the floods in Thailand would impact
Hard drive prices.
Yep.
Seagate.
Because Seagate is based in Thailand. And I never thought how a flood in Thailand would impact my computer price or anything of the sort, But now it's like, how is this hurricane in North Carolina going to impact my computer cost? And how do I make money off of it?
That's what these hedge funds guys
all
all do.
Yeah. But anyway, North Carolina, sorry for what's going on. If you can help in any way, I know I'll be donating. And buy that mustard.
And quartz.
And
whatever else is in North Carolina. Barbecue ribs.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's kind of it's messed up. I don't know. I'm not sure how much truth there is to it, and I will not do any research to find out how true it is. That FEMA is just out of money.
It's impossible.
Yeah, there's no way. Especially during an election season, that they're not going to take care of all those people in Atlanta, in North Carolina. I'm sure insurance. If you want to hate anybody, hate the insurance companies that are going to deny all these people restitution. Hate them. Don't hate, the government is going to try to do everything they can to help these people. Yeah, sure, they gave a bunch of money to migrants or whatever, but the real problem is we spend all our money overseas people, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, and insurance is like just a wealth transfer.
Yeah.
Right? It's just money that's going to people that, it's just the insurance company using fear.
Mm-hmm.
And local regulations to steal money from you. And then when you need it, you don't get it. And then they use Jake from State Farm to hypnotize you.
Yeah, during the NBA games.
Yeah, and you're like, you know what, State Farm, I should insure my
neighbor. I hope Chris Paul shows up to fix my roof.
Yep. And you're just getting finessed.
Yeah.
And, that's all I'm going to say before I get canceled.
Yeah. North Carolina, we're thinking about you. Let us know how we can help. Buy that mustard. Hurricane season is also my favorite time of the year. October means annual which politician is getting got wearing blackface season. Every October, every Halloween time, another politician pops up saying, yo, back in college, one time, maybe 2 times, a few times, I went as Michael Jackson or Aladdin. It's fun. Like Michael Jackson has gotten most recently, this guy, what's his name? Mike Lawler, who is from New York, was valedictorian of his college class.
What college?
Manhattan, like it's called Manhattan University now, but it's like a Manhattan community college. I
Okay.
guess. He went, and he's our age.
Oh my God.
He went as Michael Jakcson, from Thriller in college. And it's like, first of all, most importantly, scrub all your stuff if you're going to be running for office or if you're going to be in office. I like to imagine he was sitting there and, like Facebook does like memories. Like a Facebook memory popped up. And it's like, oh, shit. It is from Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's from Facebook. Yeah, it popped up and during his memories. He's dressed as Michael Jakcson. Now, what's crazy about this is his defense is I was such a huge Michael Jakcson fan. This is like the best way I could pay tribute to him. How are you going to wear blackface but not the Jerry curl? You can't be a Michael Jakcson. Like that would be more recognizable than blackface.
It's not even good blackface.
No.
It looks like an Indian guy.
Yeah, it's orange blackface.
I wonder if the New York Times, you think the New York Times just sits on this and then every October they're like, when it's a slow news week, they're like, all right, we got so-and-so being fucking Michael Jakcson from the Remember the Time video.
Right.
And then they just...
Remember the time he was white. He was white.
See politicians, there's a whole era of Michael Jakcson where you don't need to paint your face.
Right.
Bad, Remember the Time, Leave Me Alone, Jam.
Jam. There's more white Michael Jakcson than there is black Michael Jakcson. Right? Well, I think like
no, because you got the Jackson 5.
Jackson 5, Off the Wall,
Thriller.
But that right between Thriller and Bad is when he went.
When he has got his hair put on fire and his vitiligo went crazy.
Right. But back to Mike Lawler. He's such a Michael Jakcson fan that he went to his trial in California and stood outside the courthouse in support of Michael Jakcson in 2005. That's how crazy a Michael Jakcson fan this guy is. So I believe.
Does he get a pass? What is this?
What I mean.
What are we? I don't even know. That's commitment, dog. Holy shit.
Yeah. So in that sense, okay, we get it. You're not doing it from a racist POV. You're putting it on because you really want to pay tribute to Michael Jakcson, and it would be cool if like halfway through the night his blackface started washing off and he was turning white, and people were like, yo, you really Michael Jakcson? You committed to the vitiligo bit. He loves Michael Jakcson. So he went to court, which, like, who is supporting a guy who's accused of, you know what I mean? Like, I would see how that plays out before I'm like, no, he's innocent. You know? He's Mike Lawler. You might see him outside of the courthouse with Diddy, supporting Diddy, dressed in Diddy blackface, shiny as fuck. Shout out Mike Lawler, really repping New York, dude.
Fucking
sidebar: I'm watching SNL last night, and they run local political commercials. Mm-hmm. And this is just a tangent. They had one guy. It was just such a silly ad. This guy, Mike Esposito, I guess. He's running against this woman, Sue Altman, and they're both like everyone's campaign is pro cop.
Gotta be.
Right? Mike Esposito is a former cop, and it was an anti-Mike Esposito ad. And the ad was, Mike Esposito is a disgrace to the uniform. He left his gun in the car, and it was stolen by criminals.
What the?
That's who New York has running for it. And Mike Lawler's also up for re-election, and his opponent is, what's his name? Look it up. I don't want to mispronounce it. Mike Esposito is like a herb who went to, no disrespect to community college people, but
What is he running for?
Congressman. Just type in opponent. Mondaire Jones. His opponent is the Harvard Law Democrat, Mondaire Jones, shown here not in blackface, just black, against Mike Lawler, who went as Michael Jakcson. It's like, I don't know what it means for New York if Mondaire Jones doesn't win.
This guy.
Yeah.
You know, I am very pro community college, though. I should just come out and say this, especially in New York.
Too. I don't think there's anything wrong with community college.
New York community college system, especially in the city, is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's super strong.
Lifts people out of
a
poverty.
lot of bad situations, I'm sure. Yeah, you got to go to community college, prove that you're worth, prove that you can get that discipline, and then go on to a better school.
Yeah. Also, like, it's so diverse here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the community college system, like the CCNY system and stuff. It's not everybody's represented there. A lot of South Asian people in that system. A lot of black people, a lot of Latin people, a lot of white people, a lot of Asian people.
It's a route to a much better life. In a serious note, on an unserious note, it's also where Mike Lawler went as blackface and was also the valedictorian of his graduating class. The smartest man at his community college went in blackface for Michael Jakcson.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, he's a committed guy, right? He's committed
to
the cause of Michael Jakcson.
Yeah, I guess he is. He is. I mean, to go to court and be like, free Michael.
Yeah, it's him and Macaulay Culkin. And who else was pro Michael Jackson?
During that time?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Corey Feldman also said, and Corey Feldman went through a lot of shit, and he came out pro Michael Jackson.
I mean, post his death, I'm pro Michael Jackson's music, but during that whole time,
when Oprah turns on you, I think that's it. Because listen, Oprah gave us Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz.
So she knows a charlatan when she sees him.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, you know, there's even a line even for Oprah.
And it's... We're going to delete that line.
Yeah.
Make sure you strike that.
That's the longest beep that you'll ever fucking hear in your life. That sentence that was just said cannot be said anywhere. Anywhere.
Yeah, that's not going on Patreon.
That's not even going on
That's
Patreon.
not even on Patreon. That's going to get burnt. The tapes will be burnt, guys. Burn the tapes. Let's get the fuck out of here. Jesus.
While we're on the face of politicians in blackface, I want to give an honorable mention to, you always think, and sorry, this is in bias of my own, if I hear a politician doing blackface, immediately think Republican Party.
Yep.
So I want to give an honorable mention to Democrat Governor of Virginia, also wore blackface. Shout out to him, you know, evening out the scales.
Ralph Northam.
Ralph Northam, yeah. He's a doctor.
Oh, come on, doctors are.
Yeah. Look at that. He denied it.
Oh my God.
But that's real.
That's like shoe polish.
Yeah, that's real shit.
Jesus Christ, with a guy in a Klan's hood?
Alma Mater, Virginia Military Institute, interest, pediatrics. Yeah, dude. He denied that was him, but then he said, I've been in blackface in another picture. I mean, I would deny that was me too, because you can't tell who that is at all.
Because it's so much blackface.
So much
it's
blackface.
caked on there.
That's right in line with how obviously the OG politician doing blackface. I mean, besides all the other ones, who my favorite, Trudeau. That's on par with Trudeau.
No, that's way worse than Trudeau.
No, I mean Trudeau's was equivalent, I think. Look at that.
Because that guy. The thing about Ralph Northam is okay. This all right.
Yeah,
All right, let me take a step back here. Here's what I was going to say. Here's what I was going to say. Okay, I was going to say
the
because
Punjabi guys that are just like, oh, this
Ralph-
guy's so stupid.
because Ralph Northam actually had a guy in a Klan's costume. It'd be worse. But Trudeau's hugging two Punjabi guys.
Yeah.
Those are two actual Punjabi men.
Yes. But they're
Look
like,
at their smiles.
this guy's so stupid.
I don't know, man. I'm surprised they didn't even like.
They're just happy to be there.
Well, that's the thing. That's also like with Indian people, it's like, well, he's not talking about us.
He's too black.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like those Punjabi guys.
No, he's
like,
too black. He's South Indian.
Yeah, look at this guy. You know, I mean, I obviously do a bit about it on stage, but the truth of the matter is why Mike Lawler disappoints me so much. He didn't commit fully. No Jerry curl, not even full. That's like a Donald Trump tan blackface that Mike Lawler's wearing.
There's apparently another Justin Trudeau blackface.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of them.
It's brown face though.
Yeah.
But I
This
mean,
right
he
here.
just went a little bit too. Oh my God.
Yeah. But Jesus Christ, Trudeau, what are you doing there?
Oh my
And that's
But that's the thing. See, look, even his arms, right? The man commits. The man commits. His hands are black. Each finger is black, dude. That's 10 different opportunities to reconsider your decision. And he did not at any point. He's like, yeah, this is just me. But I mean, that's what happens when you're a rich kid. His mom or dad was prime minister before that. And he said, I can just do whatever the hell I want. I'll still become prime minister. And he did. So, in
yeah. He can
conclusion-
box too, so he's probably just like
Oh, he can box?
yeah. He was looking for it.
Mm-hmm. Any honorable mentions of blackface or brown
I mean,
face?
only one that brown face was Ashton Kutcher, and that really disappointed me because I
Which
really
one was that?
wanted Popchips. He
Uh-huh.
did a Popchips campaign where he was a Swami.
yeah.
And he did. And this is a corporate commercial.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh yeah, I remember this.
they had a whole marketing agency.
Man,
They had a whole agency. They had meetings.
these are the
Right.
Bombay. Jesus Christ.
They had
bro.
like a industry. Literally, there. You know how many meetings need to happen before getting any campaign launched?
Right.
And they were like, just saw this, and they were like, you know what? Yeah, let's move forward with this. Indians don't need chips.
Right.
Well, guess what, Pop Chips? You lost me, and I love chips.
Sticking to Lays. They've never done anything racist. I'm
Yeah,
sure they have.
maybe they have. Who knows?
Probably.
But this is egregious. And then they had a whole TV commercial on it, and he did the accent. He did a
You wanna
fucking
play that?
accent on TV.
No one's buying chips because Ashton Kutcher said buy chips.
Yeah, I mean, Ashton Kutcher's.
He's
What does
definitely-
Ashton Kutcher's word even mean? You know?
I mean,
I don't know. He wrote that letter for Danny Masterson. That didn't work out all that much.
But also, like, I mean, he definitely had money in it. He definitely has money in Pop Chips, right?
I don't know.
He's got to.
he used to probably.
I'm sure he did.
Those commercials pay a lot. National TV commercials, they pay a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And he had billboards. I remember I seeing these Ashton Kutcher Swami billboards in the city.
That could have he could have gotten an Indian guy.
Yeah, you
for
could just paid
so
him.
Much, so much
Why didn't you
less
pay
money.
him, Pop Chips?
Yeah.
Huh? Be like,
That means there was 0 Indian people on that decision-making board.
they're never. No.
And if they had just gone, they could have gotten me for a trillionth of the price. I mean, I wasn't shit back then, but I'm still that shit now. But and no one's listening to me to buy chips. But like, if you got an actual Indian person in a commercial, it would have made more noise, positive noise. Like, oh wow, they put an Indian guy in a national campaign. I'm gonna try these chips out.
I
And he
think
recorded the South Asians love chips. I love a chip, man.
I think as reparations, Pop Chips, you should sponsor this podcast.
Yeah.
As reparations to the Indian community,
Mhm.
I will gladly take your money
Yes.
and make some chaat masala flavored
Mhm.
Pop Chips, which actually sound pretty good.
Sounds pretty banging. That's pretty good. You know, Pop Chips, Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, you could go back.
Well, the Short Circuit, that guy,
Right.
Fisher Stevens, I think that's his name.
Yeah. He was classic.
He was classic. You know what? I actually thought that guy was Indian when I was young.
Oh yeah, this
He-
was 2012.
He fooled me.
The 4th episode, Master on the new widely beloved opens with a montage of racist caricatures. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So this was around like 2010 or 2011 when it came out.
Uh-huh.
The ad. Yeah, they could have gotten Aziz.
They could have gotten anybody.
Yeah, they could have got Aziz. They could have got Mindy.
Hassan was on Daily Show at that point, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could have got a lot of the 6 famous Indian people.
But that means they just, they just didn't care. They just didn't care. Or Ashton owned part of it and it's like, I'm going to be the Ryan Reynolds of racist pop chip advertising. And my equity stake's going to go up because I advertise for it. Is Pop Chip still around?
Yeah, it's still around.
Oh, okay.
I see it every day at the grocery store, and I'm reminded of this injustice that we have faced.
Oh, who's this? Mitali Perkins. Why Ashton Kutcher's Pop Chip?
This is a random blog that's showing up on.
Oh, got it. It's pointless. Sorry.
There's
Okay.
always some whenever like.
Speaking of minstrels.
I went to a puppet store.
Just real quick before we go to the next topic of politics. This show, I know you don't watch TV, but there's a show that is making the rounds called Nobody Wanted This.
I have not heard of this
You've
at all.
not heard of it. It's like the number one rom-com, really heavy on the rom, not really anything calm about it.
It's a show or a movie?
It's a show. It's a series, and I don't think it deserves this IMDb 8.2 rating, but it's getting a lot of flack from. So it's about a rabbi who dates a non-Jewish woman.
Wow, this is right in my wheelhouse, guys.
That's the whole show.
This is right. How have I missed this?
Right.
Oh my God! A goyim and a rabbi coming together.
Follows the unexpected relationship between a rogue rabbi and an irascible, loud, agnostic woman.
Ooh, irascible, nice IMDb.
And one of the reviews that I read of the show, I saw one episode and I was like, I can't do this. It was too much. But one of the reviews is calling the show, like, it's a Jewish woman who writes the review, and the whole show is about a Jewish guy dating a shiksa, which I guess is like a not slur, but not positive term about a non-Jewish woman
Okay,
dating a Jewish person.
it's not goyim.
It might, I don't know that might be the male version.
Okay,
I thought it was shikso, but
I'm sorry, Jewish racist.
Yes. But it's she's like, this paints Jewish women in an entirely bad light. It makes women look bad. It makes Jewish women look especially bad. And I find this so amusing because now Jewish women have their own apu. You know, that's what the show is for them. Like, it's like painting Jewish women, because the Jewish women in the show,
are all like,
oh, how dare you, and like they're all like annoying and mean and calling a woman that's outside of the race a shiksa. Just want to say that.
It's interesting you bring this up. Isn't that what Kumail got shit for the Big Sick?
What?
Because he painted Indian women as like, oh, like, why are you with this white woman?
I don't remember.
I feel like Kumail got a lot of shit for that,
I don't remember the controversy around that movie.
even though it's about his life
Yeah,
and his real situation with his wife.
Yeah.
There was like a scene where, you know, his parents are trying to get him married off to a nice Indian girl, and it just paints like Indian girls as like probably not as bad as this. This sounds like it's active.
No, but this is the thing. Like, I appreciate the criticism because I find it funny that someone's complaining about this. I don't actually appreciate the criticism from, there's a lot of merit to that. You're painting women this way or Jewish women that way, because I'm not either one of those things, obviously.
Right.
But it's also like there is truth to everything that happened. Like in Kumail's situation, it was the truth of his life. And you maybe exaggerate it a little bit for effect and for TV or movie. But that doesn't mean it's not based in reality. So I'm sure that some of this is based in reality, and it's just funny to see people complain about something that I don't find that impactful. Like Apu, I mean, Hank Azaria, the decision to do that crazy ass accent, and sure, it impacted a lot of people. And I don't want to bring up constantly Apu, but like, I had no problem with it. I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. This is just reality for some people. Same thing with this.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to get into the whole Apu thing.
Yeah, I mean, Hari and Akash have already beat that dead horse, so it's fine. But I'm not of the point of view that this constant barrage of negative quote unquote stereotypes is going to really have a huge impact on day-to-day life. So shout out to nobody wanted this. I didn't want it. I don't know who is why. I don't know why it's not. I don't want to shit on the show, right?
Well, you could be like me and you never had it.
Yeah,
just don't watch it. Save a bunch of money on your Netflix subscription. Use it to buy weed. But it sounds like
it's popping. It's a popping show. People like it. Yeah, it's all right. Check it out. It's good. Mind
or don't.
It's good mind off television. Yeah, or don't. Yeah. Speaking of, I don't know what else. I don't know what the transition line there is. Let's just talk about JD Vance. The real
speaking of race mixing.
Yes. Speaking of race mixing.
Good save.
Yes,
That's a good save.
Nice. JD Vance and Tim Walz. Did you watch the debate at all?
I got through, so I knew we would have to do this today.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to subject myself to it. And I was like 5 minutes in, like 10 minutes out, 5 minutes in, 10 minutes out. That's as much as I could do.
I tried to watch it and it was on, but I think a lot of the times I was just complaining. Like, what is this? Who is JD? Who is Tim Walz? And I'm not even coming from it from a disaffected voter. I'm just they're just such politicians. Tim Walz is like this folksy. I'm a knucklehead, and JD Vance is if AI were a person.
Yeah,
with
the same like level of effectiveness as a ChatGPT answer.
Right.
Like it just wouldn't. It wouldn't work, but it works because his grammar and presentation are so perfect that people are like, yeah, because that's also how AI tricks people. Like a lot of the answers are authoritative in how they're written, and it messes with your mind.
Right.
But that's essentially JD Vance as a person, like giving non-answers and being like, they asked him if he was going to certify the election results if it happened again, and he gave a total non-answer about how it was about censorship.
Right.
And
yeah, what a wild boy.
But he just keeps talking in circles. So when I was watching, I was like, what is the point? Like, I was like, what is the point of this? What is the point of anybody watching this?
Right.
Because you're not getting anything of value from this dude wearing eyeliner who fucks couches.
And Tim Walz, I thought as a governor, you're supposed to, I thought he'd be a much better orator than he was. He seemed like on his heels a bit.
I mean, it's hard to argue with someone, to debate with like these Ivy League type guys who just talk in circles because they're constantly lying.
Right.
So you can't ever dig in and be like, all right, let's, push back on a statement he made because he's fucking lying about everything.
Right. He is a very eloquent guy, JD Vance.
Yeah. He went to Yale.
Super smart. Smart enough to know that he could trick people into believing anything he says. And painting his running mate DT as this much better guy than he is. And he avoided all the abortion stuff like very quickly and got mad when someone tried to fact check him, which was like, who gets mad at that? You said you want a fact check.
That's why I don't think any of these people are actually smart. I think it's just all presentation. I think I
think JD Vance is probably a fairly intelligent guy.
I don't think so.
I didn't go to Yale.
But I don't think I think people think of smart and dumb is a very binary thing. But like going to those schools and having that stamp and being certified is just like a marketing thing. It's like you have access. You need access to get to those schools, first and foremost. Secondly, like if you he can present and he has good grammar, he knows how to speak, obviously. But like there's no substance. Like him and Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro went to Harvard twice, I think. I'm pretty sure he went to Harvard Law School, and he's just not like he can speak well. He can talk in circles, and I think it's all about giving people the idea that you're more intelligent than you are.
Yeah,
but
they're like me right now.
But plenty of people like being like, I think that's how they hide. It's all marketing. They hide behind their credentials, but really there's a lot of luck for them to get in. There was someone just as smart that didn't get into Harvard,
Right.
you know, that went to Northwestern and you don't remember who that person is. So it's kind of like,
So JD is
he's just part of this whole like circus of people that we have in the world, in this country, that like are politicians, work in hedge funds or investment banks.
You think Usha got in his ear? You think he hits Usha?
No, I think Usha definitely hits him.
Usha beats his ass?
I think
Good job, Usha.
I think a small Indian woman with that kind of rage in her heart and hatred in her heart, definitely swinging on him. If she comes home,
Go fuck the couch, JD.
Catches him like, you know, elbow deep in their couch.
This is why, like, everyone go thank Usha. What? Everyone go thank Usha. JD Vance credits Indian wife for his impressive debate performance. Yeah, she beat his ass into having a good performance. I'm not here to make fun of that kind of violence, except when it occurs to JD Vance. That's fine. It's good. Beat him.
I just can't imagine hearing the two of them argue about any mundane thing at home. Like who has to go buy the toilet paper?
Oh, so she's a rich lady.
Yep.
Got it. She performed in a marching band, graduated summa cum laude. Oh, shit. Phi Beta Kappa, Cambridge Scholar. Oh, she's smart as shit. But not smart enough to see through JD
See,
Vance.
smart, again, I don't think these people are smart. You're just lucky. You not just lucky, but you grow up
Keep going.
in an environment that makes it so that you can like succeed in school.
She seems like she has a decent heart, you know, worked at the Iraqi Refugee Assistance Project and the Pro Bono Network.
Then she fucking
Then she
clerked for 3 conservative justices.
Well, John Roberts not conservative.
Yeah, he is.
He's middle of the road. I
Is
guess
he?
He's turned conservative.
Oh, he's a
now,
Republican. He's a piece of shit. This guy's a fucking scumbag.
Yes, he's moderate. I guess he's a moderate conservative. Yeah, once regarded to swing vote. Yeah, he's definitely gone more conservative. That's the thing. It's a typical tale of a rich Indian person going conservative. So she went Roberts, Kavanaugh,
And,
JD Vance.
JD Vance, yeah.
Right.
And then they were Democrats, I think, when it suited them
Mm-hmm.
for him to be a venture capitalist, which is all like a network game to be a venture capitalist.
Oh, her professor was Amy Chua, a Tiger Mom lady.
That lady got canceled too.
She encouraged their
Them to date.
relationship.
You two conservatives would make a great political ticket.
That lady's creepy as hell, man.
Mhm. Hold on, let's see. Anything else about her? Look, I don't like that she's conservative in the way that she is. But I do appreciate that she's probably beaten JD Vance's ass. So, Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Life's about balance. I don't like JD's when I was watching the debate. What hit me as strange, and I've seen it in my comments a lot. My comments to my reaction to it. You know, he said that it's immigrants bringing in drugs, illegal immigrants bringing all the drugs and all the guns. And I just hate that narrative so much. And I'm just reiterating how stupid it is to beat that narrative over and over again.
It works. No,
First of
it
all,
works.
Every drug dealer I've ever had has been a white person on a bicycle. Okay. I live in New York City. And let's remember the opioid crisis. Was that caused by Roberto Saclares from Tijuana? No, it was fucking this Connecticut ass whites.
Steve.
You know, like some dude named Steve and Bobby. They did that. Like, that's the crisis in America.
With the pharmaceutical companies over medicating people and the doctors.
Yeah. That's not immigrants. It's not illegals.
Yeah, but a lot of doctors are Indian immigrants. Checkmate.
If not for those pill pushing, money grubbing motherfuckers. pill mills. Shout out to the Patel pill mills everywhere.
Man, pill mills are a trip, man.
It's just nuts. Like I don't go to a lot of small towns. I haven't been to a lot of small towns in a while. You know, obviously when I was touring, I was going everywhere. But even then, in those places, it never felt like, oh yeah, you're gonna go to a hand-to-hand with a Venezuelan to get your fix for the day. You know, and if the opioid crisis hadn't caused OxyContin prices and availability to make people search for cheaper alternatives like heroin and fentanyl,
Yeah.
that need wouldn't be there. You know, like the illegals that are selling those drugs, they're just serving a need that was caused by pharmaceutical companies.
I don't even think they're involved, man. I really don't think that.
Well, a lot of fentanyl, black market fentanyl comes from China.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But it's like, it's in terms of like the narrative that migrants are like the supply chain.
Yeah.
For it is kind of crazy because like it's because our country is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you could be a normal person and get into some traumatic physical accident
Mm-hmm.
and be prescribed a Vicodin or Percocet or even something more hardcore than that medically.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're probably so fucked up from it that you lose your job, you lose your health insurance.
Right.
And then that's really what sets you on the cycle
Right.
of looking for alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're looking for synthetic Vicodin and then you just kind of slowly meth and then you're graduating across it.
Right.
And then the other side is if you have like some kind of personality disorder or some like you're neurodivergent and same situation, you lose your job, you can't get health insurance, you're now looking at the black market.
Right.
And a lot of those things are cooked here. The stuff comes from all around the world, like all these real black market places. But it's like these people crossing the border in Arizona and Texas right now, man.
Yeah, they're not like, ooh, I can't wait to get me a small town.
They're not trying to get caught with shit in their pockets, and they're on bus lines.
Right.
You know, like that's how it goes down.
Yeah. They're selling chiclets on the train.
Yeah, and they got to eat. Like they're carrying supplies to cross the border.
Yeah, it's just easy to find such it's such a fear mongering, low hanging fruit approach because people attack what they see.
Yeah.
So if you see a Venezuelan family and also in your community people are dying from drug overdoses, you're going to do a direct parallel, but you don't see the overarching societal thing that caused the opioid crisis or the drug crisis or whatever you want to call it. It's the same, it's a parallel narrative when it comes to jobs, where it's like people lose jobs, the economy is going one way or the other, America added 250,000 jobs.
It's fake.
Whatever that means. And I've done a bit about this on stage, I think you know it, but the deeper thing is like the whole idea of immigrants coming in and taking all the jobs. It's so insane to me that people will blame the people that are getting the jobs as opposed to the people who are giving them away. You know?
Yeah.
It's never like the jobs were given by, it's not like JP Martinez, it's JP Morgan that's creating the job. You know what I mean? It's never blaming the actual
systemic stuff.
The systemic stuff. And that's all. And if you were to go down that route, you could blame both Democrats and Republicans because everyone's pro getting the cheapest amount of labor. That Democrats are the ones who opened up, I think it was Clinton, who opened up offshoring tons of jobs. It was during his administration. Granted, he was coming off of the Gulf War with George Bush, but that whole shit started because of them. And the Republicans, and Democrats were pro that happening because it meant more money for their companies where they had stock. That's all it was. And now we're at this place where, yeah, let's blame the immigrants. Let's blame people who are just coming for opportunity as opposed to the people that created the system, which were both Democrats and Republicans and benefited from it.
Well, I think firstly I'll say is that it's very easy to spot a drug dealer, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you send me to the border, you got 30 Venezuelans lined up. You see the one guy in full
Wearing
Supreme,
a Mets hat and,
Wool Supreme. That's the drug dealer. Or they look like me. And
multiple times I've been out at a club like earlier years, dressed basically like this, and people be like, "Hey man, you got anything?"
Yeah, it's just a vibe, you know what I mean? And like some family, the fucking 3-year-old's not gonna sell you Fent. Like it's just not.
That 3-year-old though, check her diaper, loaded with crack.
If it's a Supreme diaper,
yes.
there are things in there. But shit, what was I gonna say?
First of all, it's very easy to spot a drug dealer.
Second of all, like the systemic issues. I think it's because we're all complicit. Like the bargain that you make, that especially our generation and even Gen Z is kind of getting hit by this, is that you work somewhere, you work for like 40 years and you get your 401k money and then you move to Florida.
Right.
Like that's what everybody knows. Whether you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, investment banker, you're trying to make that money, and then all of your assets sit in the market. And so like all we're doing with offshoring and all this shit is we're just floating a bad system. Yeah. And it's too late to go back. And so it's easier for the powers that be to be like, you know what? It is the fucking migrants and the immigrants.
Right.
And they're just kind of obfuscating everything. And it works. Like a lot of these Trump voters are like, yeah, it is the fucking migrants and the immigrants. Right. And if they weren't here, like the white replacement theory and all this crazy shit that they really believe, they really believe that minorities are out there to replace white people.
They're onto us.
Yep.
Watch out.
It's too late.
We here. Yeah, I mean, it's preposterous. It's if just 2 generations ago, politicians got on TV or wherever the hell, however they communicated to the American public, and were like, just get good grades in math and science, and you will not have to worry. You will have a good job. That's it. That's the answer.
You got to do everything. You got to do the humanities.
Nah, humanities are trash, dude. Listen, English
arts,
is
I'm all for I don't know what that makes me. I'm all for like having a diverse education.
Yeah, sure. But I'm all for, like, we need a bunch of re-education camps in this country, the way China does. Put a bunch of people in middle of Montana. Be like, listen, you're going to learn basic physics, basic technology, basic mathematics. Stop complaining about people taking your jobs and learn the things that you need to do to have those jobs. And we won't have to hire a bunch of H-1Bs.
Can't teach that. Kids who are doing TikTok dances that.
Yeah.
They're doing TikTok dances all over the world now.
Yeah, but
not in China.
TikTok for math, dude.
They do Weibo dances in China or WeChat dances.
Their TikTok is all educational.
But yeah.
Which is what he's talking
about. I don't know how true that is, but I feel like I think Schultz said that on his podcast or something. Like, if you look that, and Joe Rogan talked about it, so it makes me think like there's probably not a lot of veracity to it.
Yeah.
But the kernel of truth in that is that if we focused on STEM, we wouldn't need to go to Bengaluru, India, to get a bunch of accountants to come in and do the hard work.
I think like the focus on STEM is overblown because it leads to bad things.
Like what?
Like if you have too many people, in STEM, but they're optimizing to make money. And like a lot of stuff, like even this AI stuff, like
yeah, sure.
This AI stuff is not going to work out because like I don't know if this is podcast.
You see this video? Speaking of STEM and AI.
Oh, this Harvard video?
A bunch of students.
Use it, you just put the glasses on, then as you walk by people, the glasses will detect when somebody's face is in frame. This photo is used to analyze them, and after a few seconds, their personal information pops up on your phone.
Cambridge Community Foundation.
This is crazy.
I mean, Facebook started as a way for Zuckerberg to spy on people at Harvard. That's not even like some podcast
wanted to bang
conspiracy
some
shit.
chicks,
Yeah. He was like, he like when you logged in the original Facebook at Harvard, it would say where you logged in from. Like, oh, so-and-so's at the library or so-and-so's at their dorm room. So it started as like a surveillance machine. So this shit is not, I don't know what value this has to anybody. I don't know why you'd want this.
Right. So then you could bother this guy, Bishit, on the streets and be like, hey, man, I'm a big fan of your paper that no one read.
Well, it says the creators don't plan to release the code.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys don't plan to because
someone will figure it out.
They plan to sell it.
Yeah.
There's no, if someone came to them like, we'll give you $10 million for this code.
Well, the military's probably already got stuff like this anyway.
This is nothing new. But it's crazy that's going to soon be available to
public,
the masses.
Why do people want this?
To get laid.
To know where
that's really all it is. It's all just to smash and or steal. That's all it is. Like, you either want to talk to somebody and flatter them with information, or you want to talk to somebody and figure out how to rob them. That's all it is. Bottom line, dude. Basic instincts. Smash or steal. But, yeah, sure. There are some negative effects of everyone being a science nerd and everything being optimized to get money and extract value.
Yeah, everything.
But, if you balance that with an ethics course or two, and hopefully some people are driven by a greater the passion or a greater force than just dollar bills, the society in America would be definitely a lot better. And no one would be blaming migrants. We would all be a lot more people would be in a harmonious situation where that's really what it is. And that's my belief. Public education has failed in America. Therefore, we're blaming migrants for taking jobs.
I mean, public education is a lot better in Europe, and they blame migrants for fucking everything over there.
Yeah, but they're all fucking drinking. That's because they're all drinking while they're pregnant.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all that is.
That is true.
Anyway, shout out Usha Vance. Keep it up. JD, listen, man, if you need some how to be human classes, talk to us. You fucking dork. Speaking of dorks, this is the last thing for this podcast, this episode. It is Football Sunday. Just this past weekend, my second favorite person named Amit Patel. My first favorite person named Amit Patel is my cousin. Shout out, Za. What up? My second favorite person named Amit Patel is this, the story? This former accountant with the Jacksonville Jaguars who stole $22 million from the Jaguars, I guess a year or two ago, got caught stealing that much money from the Jaguars to cover gambling. He's suing FanDuel for $250 million, saying that they encouraged him to gamble and that they should have known, and they did know, that he was a gambling addict, but they didn't care. And they plied him with gifts and extravagant trips.
What they did?
So this is a thing that happens in high-level gambling, and I know this because I gamble. I do not encourage it. It is poison. I haven't gambled in a very long time. I'm down $1,200. That's enough for me to be like, I can't gamble ever again, unless one of my cousins is like, this is a sure thing, in which case I will give him all my money. But that hasn't happened in a long time. Parlays are killing me, or killed me a lot. Gambling is poison. It is an addiction. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, but let me finish this Amit Patel story. So when you're a high-level gambler, FanDuel and all the other sites, DraftKings, BetMGM, ESPN, all that, they can track your gambling, obviously, and how much money you're putting in, how much money you're losing. And just like a casino, they will try to keep you in-house.
Sure.
They'll try to keep you gambling. They'll try to make you feel special and encourage you. And they give him trips to Miami F1. They gave him VIP suites. And over 2 or 3 years, he had his own VIP fixer. This guy named Brian Krause or something. And what's his name? Oh, you don't have the journal.
This is a true.
No, but I'm saying
Yeah, I don't have it.
read
I'm not
anymore.
logged in. Sorry.
Okay, well, we'll verify the facts of it. He had a VIP fixer named something Krause who became his like text pal, and they're texting like hundreds of times a day. And like
about lines, like what about like, oh hey,
just like, hey, like I got you some gifts. Like being befriended. Imagine being befriended by your drug dealer. Imagine you were addicted to heroin, and you just talked about heroin, and like he became your friend. And then every so often, oh, you're feeling down on it? Want some heroin? And that's what this is. And he's suing FanDuel, saying you target people like me. You know when when someone's a gambling addict, and you prey on them and you extract as much money as you can from this person, and then you say, sorry, you should have known better.
I mean, how many people are really betting millions of those? It's got to be rare. I think most of these apps make their money off of like normal people.
I don't know, man. I'm gambling is the hidden, is the new hidden opioid crisis for sure. There's people losing millions of dollars across every country, every state, every city, every team. And I'm sure at some point there's going to be if Amit Patel is not Amit Patel is not going to be the massive lawsuit. I imagine FanDuel settles. That's my bet on this. Anyone want to take that line? Let me know. Amit Patel, they're going to settle because if this case gets blown wide open, and this was, what's his name? Not Schumer. This other senator, it might have been Schumer, but this other senator a few months ago made an inquiry about how these companies are encouraging people to go into debt. Gambling debt is a real problem. People lose their houses, people lose their spouses, people lose their entire lives, and they don't have to leave their house.
Well, it's the same as Robinhood app. Like the Robinhood app wants you to take margin all the time.
Yeah.
That's way worse.
Why is it way worse? It's the same.
No, because one destroys your credit, that has more access to your estate. You know what I mean? Is your finances.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with these websites.
Well, the thing is, I think DraftKings or FanDuel went too hard on this guy. They could have just let this idiot keep doing what he was doing without honeypotting him and to keep gambling.
Yeah.
Because clearly he had a problem and he would have kept feeding them.
Well, I mean, the reason he didn't keep feeding them is because he got caught stealing from the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And I'm not exactly sure what his MO was when it came to stealing. I think he was like booking, charging the company credit card for overcharging them, booking like expenses, then hiding it because he was an accountant. And I'm sure someone will tell us how. If not, just take my word for it. He was doing some shady shit because he had access to the Jacksonville Jaguars company credit card. And they don't spend shit. Obviously, if you look at their 0-4 record, probably 0-5 by the time this comes out. But on the other side of it, like the people that are watching him gamble all this stuff, they are like, oh, this is definitely a gambling addict. Let's keep feeding his addiction, as opposed to being like, hey man, call this number, you need some help.
What's that number going to do?
It just feeds them to like some
feeds
other
them back to
exactly.
It goes back to some other fucking shit.
It's probably some nonprofit gambling addict recovery center that's owned by FanDuel or DraftKings or
the government made FanDuel owned by you got to put up like 3 gambling addict centers.
Right.
And then they'll just give you the bare minimum and then you're back at it.
Right. And they prescribe you opioids. It's a whole cycle, man. Yeah, this is it. Schumer.
Imagine.
Bipartisan sports betting integrity legislation. It hasn't worked, Chuck.
I just think I feel like I agree.
Wait, one more. I agree. One more time. One more thing. It's particularly if this was a story about Amit Johnson or Steve Wills or whoever, I wouldn't have paid much attention to it. But I know for a fact that gambling is a scourge within the Indian community for sure. I know multiple stories of people who have lost a lot of money, lost a lot more than just money because of gambling, houses, wives, like blown it. I've been to Atlantic City. I've been to these casinos where you just see Indian uncles sitting at the table blowing liquor store cash just like fiends. And I'm sure some of them are doing great and some of them don't have a problem. I know I got a cousin, we've seen it, turn $300 into $70,000 in a few hours.
True story, yeah.
Like it's been nuts. I've seen it, and I'm hoping he doesn't have a problem. He's also hyper successful, but outside of that, but like on the real, it's definitely a scourge within the South Asian community. There's definitely people that don't talk about it, and I might even venture to say it might be disproportionately impacting South Asian people.
I think we need data for that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say it definitely is. Please fact check it. But yeah, I mean, it's just sad. But on the flip side, Amit Patel stole from
another South Asian guy, Pakistani guy, Trump supporting Pakistani guy, Indian guy stealing from a Trump supporting Pakistani guy. I'm all for it. Good job, Indian man. Appreciate you, Amit Patel. Good luck in jail. I don't want to stoke like sectarian violences at all.
Man. India and Pakistan, we're the same people. Don't let the crooked teeth Brits make you feel any different. These fucking border dividing pieces of shit. Anyway, keep going. What were we saying?
I just like...
You agree?
Listen, I agree gambling is bad.
Yes.
It's horrible for you. Mm-hmm. It's also like a fiction, right? Like very... Like you have to be the 1% of the 1% to make a living gambling.
Yeah, a lot of people...
Like it requires a lot of like
you can
really sophisticated really modeling.
Yeah.
You get a nice STEM degree. There you go. Boom. There you go. And these houses also like are so sophisticated, like the books. Mm-hmm. They're so sophisticated in handicapping the games.
Yeah.
And extracting money from you.
Yeah.
That like you'll never beat them. It's like taking up arms against the U.S. Army. Like you're just not gonna win.
Right.
No matter how good your gun is,
right.
You got no fucking chance.
Right.
But so I agree on all that.
You hear that?
Yeah.
If the government comes and
you're fucked.
Knocks on my front door, you're screwed.
If you're fucked. By the way, also the first thing they make you do when you join the army is run. And half you motherfuckers that want to fight the army cannot run down your block.
Right.
So like anyway,
yeah.
I'm going to say is that what I will say is, and I also agree that DraftKings and
all of them,
because listen, DraftKings got Kevin Hart and LeBron on their commercials now.
Yeah, imagine
that tempts me.
It does.
LeBron does it.
Imagine if like your childhood or current idol was peddling.
LeBron is peddling.
But that's how crazy it is. That's how okay. That's also what bothers me is that it is an addiction, and it's designed to be addictive. Like casinos, gambling houses, they gamify everything, and gamification just means how to keep someone addicted and on to the thing. And now people like Kevin and LeBron and whoever else are saying, go ahead and try this crack. Smoke some crack. You'll be fine.
I also agree. Like I think they shouldn't allow the marketing of it. Mm-hmm. But I think if you're dumb enough to want to gamble, like you should be able to gamble. If you're like, it's like the like McDonald's, like all McDonald's food is bad for you.
Right.
They probably shouldn't be allowed to market as much as they do.
But McDonald's is different because people need to eat. You don't need to throw
you need to make money.
You don't need
you got to make some money.
You don't need to throw your money on a Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
You don't,
parlay,
but you're,
dude.
you're hoping to make quick money.
You're hoping to make quick money. Yeah.
Every poor person, like especially if you go to these Indian casinos, like in the parts of America, right?
Native American casinos. Shout out Larry Bearshield. Go ahead.
Well, also Native Americans. I'm not. I get what you're doing. Wink. But like in poor America, everybody, even in New York, everybody has a story of somebody else who got a big fat payday. Oh, he took a parlay on the in the World Series and a couple basketball games, and he got $6,000, which is not a crazy amount of money. But when you're broke as fuck, that's a lot of money.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
And that urban legend kind of goes around in your community, and that's what because you're desperate.
They also posted on Instagram.
Now they're posting on Instagram all this shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this guy turned $5 into $125,000 on a 17-leg parlay.
And then also like ESPN fired all of their analysts, and now they have all of their talking heads do just more entertainment, and they're all selling ESPN Bet.
Right.
So they're just, it's like, that is what I take issue with, is you shouldn't be able to market and then hide. Like, they're not even hiding it. Like, these are Stephen A. Smith's 5 picks.
Right.
And I'm like, Stephen A. Smith is not a statistician.
Right.
But people are still going to take those bets.
I need a guy with thick glasses who doesn't look like he's been laid in a long time.
But it's all, finance is like that too. They have Jim Cramer on fucking, all these CNBC clowns. They don't know shit about finance. They're not like real hedge fund people. Right. They're not making real bets.
Right.
But they tell you to buy certain stocks. And like, it's just all of like,
it's all a scam.
It's all a scam, but it's like high-low. It's like when you're poor, gambling's really your only way. And when you're a little bit middle class, like trading options is like, you're just trading one for the other.
I agree in that I understand why people do it and what the fixation is, but the problem is that it is an addictive, poisonous thing that changes your brain chemistry, and that it shouldn't be marketed the way it is.
I agree with that. Yeah, they shouldn't be marketing it. But
to the point, like, what's the name? The guy from the Raptors.
Yeah, Kevin Porter Jr.'s brother.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
NBA champion's brother is betting on games that he's in. That's when you know it's a problem. It's a real problem. Amit Patel is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be so many people like this. And that's why I think this lawsuit will be squashed. I hope he gets paid out, because it is true that. But I mean, if he gets paid out, he'll probably just go back to gambling. So maybe they put in an escrow account.
Yeah, maybe FanDuel's like, yeah, you know what, we'll settle.
Yeah.
And we'll put it all in this special FanDuel account just for you.
Yeah. that's the way FanDuel settles it.
Yeah,
we got you, buddy.
Yeah, but then this idiot's gonna go up and do, like, that's the thing. Like I don't want to use this term, but like, people just, you should be free to make some bad choices.
Yeah,
but we shouldn't invest. We invest so much as a society around making these bad choices seem like they're good to people. Like having Kevin Hart and LeBron James do a DraftKings commercial is like egregious.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Like, kids watch that. Kevin Hart makes movies that are geared towards kids.
That's all on purpose.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all fucked up. That's really fucked up. Yeah. But if you're like an Indian uncle and, you're not going to go read a book when you get home and you just want to party a little bit and go to AC and lose all your money, like, that's between you and your own dumbass.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone should be free to do heroin.
This is different.
No, it's not. It's the same. Why is it?
You don't have to inject gambling into and chase the white dragon.
It's even easier to do a thing that is equally as bad. I mean, heroin will ravage your body.
Yeah, it'll fuck you up.
But gambling will equally destroy your life if you're addicted to it and you're bad at it. I guess if you can't be good at heroin.
Exactly. You cannot be good at heroin.
Yeah, you can be good at gambling, and it's only addiction if you start losing thousands and millions.
Yeah, like nobody takes heroin and they're like, you know what? I tried it once. Mm-hmm. Like, once you're in that path, like you're in it, and it fucks you up for the rest of your life.
Right.
With gambling, I mean, plenty of people do it that don't. That's how the gambling houses sleep at night. They know that plenty of people just gamble, and then it doesn't become a lifestyle.
Right, but then there's also but they also prey on the people that
it becomes a lifestyle.
It's like on cigarettes, they put a label, right? This will kill you. At the end of every gambling commercial, it's a 2-second. You can't even read the Gambling Anonymous phone number. Is gambling a problem? Call 1-800, not a problem. It's like they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing is bad. They know they're selling something that is on purpose designed to fuck you up. on the chance that you do better. But they know you're not going to do better. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling it to you.
I think they should have the shitty celebrities advertise pro gambling, and then have the good celebrities like do the anti-gambling ads. Like you gotta have LeBron be like, guys, don't gamble, and then you gotta have Charlie Sheen being like, guys,
it worked for me.
Let's gamble.
You want to end it because actually the card reader is at 2 minutes left.
Okay,
so
that's enough from us at Gucci Turban. This card reader's about to be full, which means God is telling us to shut the fuck up and go watch the games. I got some wild parlays on. I got $200,000 on Devontae Adams not playing any football anymore ever again. I'm kidding. Don't bet. It's bad for you.
This is brought to you by FanDuel. And
y'all was shitting on his Mets hat. Mets beat the Brewers. Are they going to beat the Phillies?
They beat the Phillies yesterday, but at the time of the posting of this pod, I am not responsible for any of the jinx that just has been put on the New York Metropolitan Baseball Club.
I am.
I like going to Queens. I'm from there. Please do not.
Diddy supported the Mets too.
No, he was a Yankee fan. He was a Yankee fan. Boom. So was Epstein. Check the tapes.
Check the tapes.
Bye.
Peace.